Did you know that Amsterdam is home to more canals than Venice, Italy? Intriguing, isn't it? This city, often dubbed the Venice of the North, is a labyrinth of narrow waterways, each one brimming with its own tales and secrets. These winding waterways have seen centuries pass by, silently narrating the city's transformation from a small fishing village to a vibrant cosmopolitan hub. Amsterdam is a city of paradoxes where old-world charm coexists with cutting-edge modernity. It's a place where you can wander through ancient cobblestone streets one moment and find yourself amidst sleek contemporary architecture the next. But don't be fooled by the city's picturesque facade. Beneath its serene surface, Amsterdam harbors a world of the unusual and unexpected. From its unique biking culture to its infamous red light district, there's more to this city than meets the eye. So, are you ready to uncover the mysteries of Amsterdam? But before you pack your bags, let's dive into the top 5 things you should never do in Amsterdam. At number 5, ignore the bikes at your peril. Let's dive into the two-wheeled world of Amsterdam, where bikes are as common as tulips in spring. They're not just a mode of transport here, they're a way of life. There are more bikes than people in this city, which might sound like a fun fact until you're trying to navigate the labyrinth of bike lanes. Did you know that Amsterdam's bikes have their own traffic laws? Yes, they do, and they're as intricate as a Dutch windmill. So, if you're thinking of jaywalking or wandering into a bike lane, think again. The cyclists here are like a well-oiled machine. They swerve, they zip, they dart, but they rarely stop. Now let's spin the wheel of stories and land on some humorous anecdotes about unsuspecting tourists. There was this one time, a gentleman from Texas, big hat and all, decided to take a leisurely stroll in what he thought was a pedestrian lane. Next thing he knew, he was part of a bike parade, narrowly dodging handlebars and ringing bells. Or how about the time a lady from Japan, fresh off the plane, mistook a bike lane for a sidewalk? She ended up being escorted by a swarm of cyclists like a royal procession, only faster and with more ringing bells. And let's not forget about the infamous bike dive. It's a rite of passage for many a tourist when they step off the sidewalk without looking and whoosh! They find themselves performing an impromptu swan dive to avoid an oncoming cyclist. It's not quite the Amsterdam experience they had in mind, but it's certainly one they won't forget. So when you're in Amsterdam, always keep one eye on the road and one on the bike lanes. Treat them with the respect they deserve. After all, they've been around longer than most of the city's buildings. So remember, in Amsterdam, bikes rule the road. Sliding into number 4, do not disrespect the red light district. Now folks, when we talk about Amsterdam, the red light district inevitably surfaces in the conversation. Known as De Wallen in Dutch, this neighborhood, brimming with red-lit windows and a certain undeniable allure, is one of the city's most renowned areas, but not without a few ground rules. The red light district is a place of business, a place where people ply their trade, just like in any other industry. It's not a carnival where you can gawk and point. So remember, when you stroll down these infamous streets, treat the people you see with the same respect you'd give any other professional. Now let's delve into a couple of humorous tales about unsuspecting tourists who learned this the hard way. Picture this: a group of lads on a bachelor party thinking it's all fun and games to pose for photos with the ladies in the windows. Little did they know, it's strictly against the rules, and their night of revelry quickly turned into an embarrassing lesson in respect. Then there was the wide-eyed tourist who thought it would be a great idea to tap on the windows like you might at a fish tank in an aquarium. Well, let's just say that didn't end well. The red light district is not a zoo, and the people are not on display for your amusement. So remember folks, the red light district is a part of the city's culture and heritage. It's an area that deserves the same respect we give to any other neighborhood in any other city. It's a place where people work, live, and yes, even go to church. The Oude Kerk, the city's oldest standing building, is right in the heart of the district. So if you're planning a visit, be sure to tread lightly, act politely, and remember, it's a living, breathing part of the city, not just a tourist attraction. So if you want to avoid a red-faced moment, show some respect. Coming in hot at number 3, don't just stick to the city center. Now, I know the allure of Amsterdam's city center is undeniable. It's like the Siren song, drawing you into a labyrinth of canals, cafes, and cobblestone streets. But let's not forget, every labyrinth has an exit, and what lies beyond is a treasure trove of experiences just waiting to be discovered. Venture beyond the city center and you'll find yourself in a completely different world. Picture this: Serene parks that look like they've been plucked straight out of a Monet painting, charming neighborhoods where the locals gather, and windmills. Yes, windmills. They're not just a thing of fairy tales, you know. Have you ever heard of the Nine Streets? No, they're not a boy band, but they might as well be with their harmonious blend of art, fashion, and gastronomy. This picturesque shopping district is a stone's throw away from the city center and is a must-visit for any self-respecting shopaholic. And what about the Eastern Docklands? This area was once the beating heart of Amsterdam's shipping industry. Today it's a vibrant neighborhood, boasting a mix of modern architecture and repurposed warehouses, now transformed into trendy lofts and eateries. Or perhaps you prefer a bit of tranquility? Then let's head to the Amsterdam Forest. It's 3 times the size of Central Park. Imagine that. It's a haven for nature lovers with its lush greenery, tranquil lakes, and even a goat farm. Yes, a goat farm in Amsterdam. You can't make this stuff up. And let's not forget about the city's outskirts, where you'll find charming villages like Zaanse Schans and Volendam. Here you can experience the traditional Dutch way of life, complete with cheese-making, clog-wearing, and yes, more windmills. So, my friends, while the city center has its charm, don't miss out on the magic that lies beyond. Remember, life is an adventure, and as the saying goes, not all those who wander are lost. So spread your wings and explore beyond the city center. At number 2, never ignore the weather. Amsterdam, the city of canals and tulips, has a reputation for its unpredictable weather. It's a city where you can experience 4 seasons in a single day. Yes, you heard it right, the weather in Amsterdam can be as changeable as the city itself. Imagine this, one moment you're basking in the sun, enjoying a leisurely walk along the canal, and the next, you're sprinting for cover as the heavens open up without warning. It's like Mother Nature's own version of Russian roulette, and let's face it, she always wins. Take, for instance, the tale of a group of tourists who decided to explore the city in shorts and flip-flops, banking on the sunny forecast. Well, the sun did shine, for a grand total of 15 minutes. The rest of the day, a symphony of rain, wind, and a surprise performance by hailstones. Or consider the story of a photographer who set out early to capture the sunrise over the cityscape. The weather forecast predicted a clear morning, but by the time he reached his viewpoint, a thick fog had rolled in, obscuring everything. The only thing he got to photograph was the fog itself. In Amsterdam, the weather takes center stage. It's not just a backdrop, it's a key player, a character in its own right. It can be fickle, moody, and downright unpredictable. But that's part of the city's charm. So if you're planning a trip to Amsterdam, remember to pack for every eventuality. Carry an umbrella, a raincoat, and some warm clothing, even in summer. And don't forget your sunglasses, because who knows, the sun might decide to grace you with its presence. In Amsterdam, you don't just check the weather, you embrace it. You learn to dance in the rain, bask in the fleeting sunshine, and marvel at the swirling fog. Because weather in Amsterdam isn't just a fact of life, it's an adventure. So, come rain or shine, always be weather ready. And finally, at number 1, don't forget to try Dutch food. You'd be surprised how many tourists complete their Amsterdam adventure without dipping into the delightful world of Dutch delicacies. Picture this. A traveler, let's call him Jim, devours pizza slices night after night, oblivious to the culinary treasures that await him. One fine day, Jim stumbles upon a street vendor selling stroopwafels. He takes a bite of the warm, gooey syrup sandwiched between 2 thin waffles, and his world is forever transformed. But alas, it's his last day in Amsterdam. Or consider Susan, who spent her entire trip avoiding the mysterious herring stands, only to discover back home that it's a traditional Dutch herring, served with chopped onions and pickles, a must-try for seafood lovers. Don't be like Jim or Susan. Dive into the Dutch cuisine, from hearty erwtensoep to delectable poffertjes. So don't leave Amsterdam without a taste of its delicious Dutch delicacies. Now that we've navigated the do's and don'ts of Amsterdam, let's have a quick recap. First up, the bikes. Picture a swarm of metallic bees on wheels, buzzing through the streets at the speed of light. You don't want to underestimate these 2-wheeled terrors. They rule the roads, the sidewalks, and possibly the universe. You might think you're safe on that pedestrian crossing, but think again. That's their runway. So keep those eyes peeled and ears tuned to the sweet symphony of bicycle bells. Next, we've got the infamous red light district, a place where mystery blends with history, and respect is a currency more valuable than gold. Don't be that tourist snapping pictures like you're on a wildlife safari. It's a neighborhood, not a zoo. Treat it with the respect it deserves, and it will reward you with stories that can't be captured on a camera. Moving on to the city center, or as I like to call it, the tourist trap. While it's brimming with beautiful architecture and bustling markets, don't let it hold you captive. Amsterdam is more than just its heart. Venture out to its limbs, the lesser-known neighborhoods. Each has its own pulse, its own secrets waiting to be discovered. Then there's the weather. The weather. Unpredictable as a plot twist in a thriller novel. It can be sunny one moment and the next you're in the middle of a rain scene from a Hollywood movie. Don't ignore the weather forecast. They're your best friend in this city. Pack an umbrella, a raincoat, and perhaps an inflatable boat just in case. Finally, the food. If you leave Amsterdam without trying the Dutch food, well, that's a crime worthy of a detective novel. The cheese, the herring, the stroopwafels, they're not just food, they're culinary plot twists that'll leave your taste buds in suspense. Remember, folks, Amsterdam is a city of freedom, bikes, and delicious stroopwafels. But tread wisely and you'll have the time of your life.